Don Rush here, West Coast Classic Cougar. Hopefully you're not getting tired of these dash bezel videos, but I keep doing them, and as I make little mistakes and correct them along the way, I'm thinking, well, other people might want to know that and avoid these mistakes. Come on over here, Junior, and look at these. They're coming out beautiful, like fine jewelry. Look at that. Everything about them is just beautiful. Let's walk over to the next one I have in progress over here. I've been trying to do one a day. It takes a long time. My goal on these is to see how slow I can go. Less mistakes that way, because one little slip of a tool or forgetful move and you just broke something that's inobtainium. Let's talk about taking them apart. I did another video on how to disassemble them, but I want to go a little further because now you got to reassemble them. And so it's really a good idea not to take them apart and let them set for weeks, because you'll forget. It's good to keep going on the project. But a couple little reminders here. Of course, how you remove this fascia on this is you take out these bezels. And I've said it before, but I'll remind you again. You only get a couple of bends on these, and these tabs break. So you want to get this right the first time. So you only bend them out as far as you need to. Don't over bend them, just right up at a 90. And I leave that one kind of at an angle because that way I can just slip it in. But same with the smaller version, you know, bend those tabs out at close to a 90. So they'll pop right back in. But one of the things that frustrated me is I got this on and then I realized, duh, I know this, the new bezels don't come with this high beam indicator lens. So you need to gently pop this out. And I try to, believe it or not, save that 40-year-old, 50, 60-year-old, yeah, used to say 40 years old. Anyway, save that sticky foam and reuse it. So anyway, you're gonna pop that out and work it out and detail it really good. You know, get in the corners and everything. And then it goes in here. Just right in like that, and we'll reuse that. Okay, after you've detailed this and put it in place, you're gonna put this back on. And this one's easy, but these tabs are never meant to be bent out. Just leave them like that. They're just meant to hook onto here. And again, we're gonna go as slow as we can, because if I get this sharp metal edge anywhere too close to that detail black paint, you're gonna scratch it. So you're gonna work that in and set it down just like so. And you know, see, I'm pulling it away from there and I'm setting that edge first, and then I'm gonna push this down. It has to be flush, and then you, of course, put your lenses in. Then when we move on to this side, this has to go on first. And again, you got these hooks. Those hooks never, when you took it off, hopefully you didn't bend them out, because they don't need to be bent out. So we have to put this one on first. And again, we're gonna stay away from that detail black paint and just slowly push it in. Then you bend the tabs over with your screwdriver. I just gently push it. And lastly, we put this on. And I know I'm overstating it here, but we're gonna work it in here first, so we stay away from that detailed black paint. Here's another tip. When you're taking this off, you know, you get in, you pry these tabs over. You should be able, when you're done prying the tabs over, tip this over and it just kind of plops out. If you have to pry this out, then the problem is your tabs are never gonna line up. So situate it in such a way that your tabs line up with the holes. That way your installation will go so much easier. And these are so valuable, especially the centerpiece. The centerpiece, people like to drill little holes for like a little red indicator light. They like to use their screwdriver to jab away at the retainer rings that hold the toggles in here. They like to carve bigger holes here for, you know, their 1988 equalizer for their stereo. You know, you've seen it all. So one last thing when you're taking this apart, of course, when you remove the gauges from the bezel on a 68, you have to remove the wiper knob. So don't forget that. You're not going to force that knob through this hole without getting your Allen wrench and removing it. And also your speedometer, odometer reset knob. Now here's a problem you get. If yours isn't as pristine as this one, look how pristine this is. It's got the orange line that still is orange and hasn't faded to white. And there are variations. Notice that this is a thick orange line. Some of them are a thin orange line. But back to what I was saying, sometimes you'll find that these are rusted in place because moisture's got in there. Well, of course, your next move you might be tempted to do is go grab the pliers and put some tape or rag on there and then twist it. No, you got to be able to take this off with your finger strength only, because look at how delicate and tiny the shaft is. So what I'm going to suggest you do is, if you cannot get this off, that you get a Dremel tool and sacrifice the lens. And we got good used ones on our website for very little money. And of course we got the brand new ones. And the reason most people want to get the brand new ones is the buttons in the middle are chrome here. And you know, who wants ugly gray center buttons when the rest of it's beautiful? But anyway, these speedometers, finding one that the odometer still works and you can actually reset it. Biggest problem I see is when these cars sit for decades, the sun bakes all the zeros off. You know, some little kid gets in there and plays with it and hits it all to zero. Multiple problems with these, but yeah, once you break this off, there's no going back. You can't easily replace that shaft. You can't easily drill the piece of broken shaft off out of there. So yeah, I say go as slow as you can on this. And if you get stuck, don't force it. None of these parts want to be forced. Jump on one of the Facebook groups. You know, the one we're involved in is the one without any scammers, because our own Daryl is a moderator there and he doesn't let scammers in. And there's a couple other moderators there, like Jason Brody, that are very tight on that site. Beware of the other ones. So anyway, jump on one of those Facebook sites and there's ongoing conversations about how to restore these gauges for your 1967 and 1968 Cougar XR7.